In the last video, we did a set of 12 algebra regions questions. In this video, we will also be doing 12 algebra regions questions that are practice, starting with question 13. Which of the following graphs represents a function? You could have a vertical line, which goes continuously either way, a horizontal line, which goes continuously east or west, a circle, or a parabola opening sideways. It could open to the left or to the right. So to be a function, the line or like graph must pass the vertical line test. The vertical line test is when you draw a line through the function and it only hits a point once. It must only hit the graph once. So in the vertical line, if we drew a vertical line through it, it would just go through the entire function and hit infinite numbers of points. So this would not work. A horizontal line, on the other hand, when drawing a vertical line through it, it would only hit 1 point. For a circle, the vertical line can hit 2 points. For a parabola opening sideways, the same thing would happen. It would hit 2 points. So the function would be B, a horizontal line.
Alright, question 14 says, which is equivalent to 5 times x plus 2 plus 3x? So 5 times x, we're going to just distribute. This is just normal distribution. You get 5x plus 5 times 2, which is 10, plus 3x. You get 5x plus 3x, which is just 8x, plus the 10. So you get choice A.
For question 15, we have if f of x equals 2x plus 5, what is f of 3? So f of 3 would equal 2 times x, which in this case would be 3 plus 5. So this would result in 6 plus 5, which equals 11, which is option A.
So 16 says, which equation represents a line that passes through the points 2, 5 and 4, 9? So it would be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And even though this is a simple formula, I really don't like memorizing, so I usually just graph it. I graph these 2 points and then find the slope by using rise over run. So it would be 9 is y2, 5 is y1, x2 is 4, x1 is 2, so it would just be 4 over 2, which is just 2. So which equation? Ooh, I just saw this. Which equation? I was actually looking for the slope, but this is actually a starter. We got y equals 2x plus b, right? Because the original formula is y equals mx plus b, m being the slope and b being the y-intercept, right? So we already have the slope of 2. So now all we have to do is find a point that actually the line goes through. So you could pick 2, 5, or you could pick 4, 9. I'll just pick 2, 5. So 2 would be the x coordinate, right? And 5 would be the y coordinate. So it would be 5 equals 2 times 2, which is the x coordinate, plus b. So that would be 5 equals 4 plus b. So minus 4, you get b equals 1. So that would just be y equals 2x plus 1. So it would be what? Choice A.
For number 17, we have simplified 3x squared plus 5x minus 2x squared plus 4x. You would add the x squared terms. So 3x squared minus 2x squared would be just x squared. And then 5x plus 4x would be 9x, which would be option A.
Alright, so for number 18, it says solve for x, and it says absolute value of 2x minus 5 equals 9. So for this one, most kids would just graph it. What I would do first, graphing is really just like checking your work. I feel like graphing, yeah, like that's like the second step after you finish the first. The first step I would take is I would do 2x minus 5 equals 9 if 2x minus 5 is greater than or equal to 0. And negative 2x minus 5 equals 9 if 2x minus 5 is less than 0. So we would solve for x, and you would get 2x is equal to 9 plus 5, which is just 14. So x is equal to 7. And you would check, well, 2 times 7, 14, minus 5, that's 9. 9 is greater than 0, so that checks out. Now so now we have to solve for x here. So negative 2x plus 5, this is just distribution, imagine this is just a 1 in front of it, negative 2x plus 5, and that equals 9. So now you subtract 5, but from both sides you get negative 2x equals 4, and so that means x is equal to negative 2. So now you just put that back in to 2x minus 5. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. Minus 5 is negative 9. Negative 9 is less than 0, which means negative 2 is also an answer. So x equals 7 and x equals negative 2 both work. So that would be our first choice here. But I will also graph that to show you that it actually works both on graphing and this way. So we're on the graphing calculator, Desmos. It's an online graphing calculator. And what we're going to type in is we're going to type in y equals the absolute value of 2x minus 5, right? And we're going to make, and this is the function right over here. This is y equals absolute value of 2x minus 5. This is the original. And we're going to say y equals 9. So this is another function, and when you zoom out, you can see that it hits the points, it hits the 2 points. This y equals 9 line hits the 2 points at negative 2 comma 9 and 7 comma 9. So these are the x coordinates that work for this function. This is where they hit. So it would be 7 and negative 2, and this is just proof. And this just proves that what you did is correct. So always use the graphing calculator after, not just the first thing.
For question 19, we have over here, which of the following is the vertex of the parabola y equals x minus 3 squared minus 5? So over here, this is already in vertex form. So we have to find what number makes this part of the formula equal to 0 to be able to find the minimum or maximum of the function. So over here, if x is equal to 3, this part would turn into 3 minus 3 equals 0 squared, which equals 0. And then the y coordinate, when we input 3, it would equal negative 5. So this would be our vertex. This would be a downward, so an upward opening parabola with a minimum vertex, because x minus 3 squared minus 5 would distribute to be x squared minus 6x plus 9 minus 5, which would turn into x squared minus 6x plus 4. And this, because the coefficient on the x squared term is positive 1, it would be a parabola opening upwards, just like the original y equals x squared. So the vertex of the parabola would be 3, negative 5 option A.
So question 20 says, what is the solution to 3x plus 4 equals 2x plus 9? This is very normally, we're going to just put all the x terms on one side and put all the non-x terms on the other. So what we're going to do is we're going to subtract 2x from both sides, because if we subtract 2x from this side, we have to subtract 2x from this side. And we're going to subtract 4 from both sides. You can do the same with subtracting 9 and putting all the non-x variables or terms on the left side, but I like to keep it all the variables on the left side. So you would cross those out. You would get x is just equal to 9 minus 4, which is 5. So it would be choice A.
For question 21, we have simplify 2x plus 3 all squared. So here it is in the format of a plus b all just squared, which would turn out, if you would look in your textbooks, a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. In this format, 2x is a and 3 is b. So here, a squared, or 2x squared, would be 4x squared plus 2 times a times b. So 3 times 2x is 6x times 2 is 12x plus b squared. 3 squared is 9. So the answer to this would be B. Another way to do it if you don't remember the formula is you could just do 2x plus 3 times 2x plus 3. When you do this, you would distribute and then get the same answer.
All right, for 22, it says solve 4x squared equals 16. So all you have to do here, divide by 4, right? Divide by 4. You get x squared equals 4, which means x, if you take the square root on both sides, you get the positive or negative square root of 4, which means that x is either positive 2 or x is negative 2. And here it says x is equal to positive or negative 2. That's what that symbol actually represents.
For question 23, we have, what is the solution set for x squared minus 4x plus 3 equals 0? This over here would be, so right here we could find out, we could check to see if a plus b equals negative 4 and a times b equals 3 times over here is 1, which would just be 3. So if we would see any value here would most likely actually work. So we could have the value a equals negative 1 and b equals negative 3. Negative 1 times negative 3 is positive 3, and negative 1 minus 3 is minus 4, or negative 4. So here we could factor it to be x minus 1 times x minus 3 equals 0. To make it 0, one of these has to equal 0. Either x minus 1 equals 0, x minus 1 equals 0, or x minus 3 equals 0. If we solve, add 1 to both sides, it would be x equals 1, or on this side we would have add 3 on both sides, x equals 3. So the solutions would be either 1 or 3. Choice A.
Alright, and last but not least, of course, simplify 3x squared plus 3x, or plus 6x over 3x. So what that would equal 3x squared over 3x plus 6x over 3x, right? So that means 3x squared over 3x, that would just be x, right? Just divide by 3x, divide by 3x, you got x, plus 6x over 3x, you would just get 6 over 3, which is just 2. So the choice would be A. So that concludes our video for today. In the next video, we will do another set of 12 Algebra 1 Regents questions. And I hope this gives you an intuition on what Algebra 1 is, and review the video, see if it helps. And yeah, that's it.